My name is Dawn Cook. I reside in the Atlanta area. I'm originally from the Washington, D.C. area, and I'm an airline pilot. So right now I'm at the Circle of Champions Mastermind. It's the first event of 2020, and I've been part of this incredible community and tribe for about the past 6 to 8 weeks. So I simply just finished immersion a few weeks ago, and it just pulled at my heart to keep going and not wanting to go back to my old ways. After immersion, it was almost as if a light bulb had gone off, and just so many things, and seeing how powerful you are as Shield Maiden with this team and with this incredible group. You don't want to go back to your old ways of lack of integrity, not committing to yourself, hitting snooze 10 times. You've seen how great you are, you can't go back. And so for me, it was just an automatic trigger of small things that have led up to larger things over the past weeks, whether it's my health, running again, being committed to running. The coaching calls have been amazing because you have a commitment on your end. So I've literally talked to Coach Nate and told him I went running in the pouring rain because I said I was going to run that day. And so relationship-wise, my relationship is stronger with my daughters, with my husband, because it's been a more consistent interaction, more personable, and really wanting to connect with them. Spiritually, I always kind of laughed at journaling and different things like that, but when you see the power of it, it's just been a game changer for how I start my day. Conscious self-creation, it's very, very powerful. And if you really want to live into that, you can. And finally, financially, so we all left and we had these, our actions that matter, and finances is part of that. And I didn't realize how much of a scarcity mindset I had and how it just took over my life. This have to have this, fear of missing out, have to have this now. And it was just debilitating in so many ways. Whereas seeing the value I can create for a group of women that I have, a coaching potential that I have, and it's just been amazing. Working with Nate, once you leave immersion and you join this incredible mastermind group, you have accountability, you have weekly calls, you have monthly calls, you have a Facebook group, you have a team that wants to support you. And in this short period of time, I've created the beginning of a coaching practice, websites, courses, parameters of how I can help the women in my community be their best self. I've seen what it can do for me. I see the potential that I have, where it was just a little bit of closed-minded and lack of perspective before. But even in this short period of time, from leaving immersion in January, it's now the beginning of March, my life has done 180 degrees. And not that it was terrible or anything bad before. I have a great life, but I know I can be better. And this kind of pulled the layer back and let me peek behind the curtain to see how great I can be, and that I'm pretty much unstoppable, which is a really good feeling. You really can. You really can. And it's one of those things where you're almost scared to go back. So like I went home and the next day I'm like, so, all right, and nothing else has changed, but I have. And just taking those small movements so you don't come home and you're just like, okay, we're not eating sugar, everyone's gonna wake up and run 5 miles. No, like how can I bring the joy and bring my best self? And that's what you become a lot more aware of who you are and what your actions say when you don't commit, when you get frustrated, and just being aware of those triggers. When you get tired, you act this way. Okay, that's a trigger. I'm tired. Let's calm down and still, be the good person I know I can be. And so just being able to recognize those and being aware and being ahead of the game. So I know how I'm going to be when I'm tired. Okay, take it back and just be aware. So there is a space between what happens to me and how I react. And if I can understand why I used to react the way I did, I can properly respond. And so this is what this has given me, responding to spirituality, responding to relationships, responding to my finances, responding to myself and not letting myself down. So it's really exciting. And to know you have this incredible support for a year, not just, hey, that was fun, figure it out, journal, see you later. No, you have this support and you have this accountability to where you don't want to let your sisters down. You don't want to let your coaches down because they see your potential. It's up to you to shine, but only you can do that. So it's been really cool, really, really great. I'd say so far this first mastermind, it's been really interesting to see how different industries and people with different passions have gravitated towards this. And that's what I think is really incredible, because I've kind of done stuff on the side, like you read a book about, hey, how to make your life better, or hey, here's your inner power, or hey, this person is a great coach doing this. But it doesn't really trigger anything for me, I guess, with my industry. But when you see something like this, to realize you are who you've been waiting for. You can be a doctor, lawyer, realtor, pilot, somebody who's trying to start coaching. When you realize that you can take across any spectrum, and it's really powerful. So that was one of the really interesting things, is when you go through immersion, you go through with your group of sisters, but when you see the entire mastermind tribe, that's when it's a big eye-opener to yes, this is something that truly can resonate with everybody, that can help everybody, regardless of what you're doing. You can up level and just truly live your best life. It's not fluff. Like, Satema is seriously giving you stuff that you can change your life with. It's not just read this book, write a couple pages in a journal, and ta-da, unicorns and glitter, insert magic. No, it's real. You have to do the work, but that's the whole point of this. If it was easy, everybody would be living their best life, but it's not. It takes a lot of courage to recognize when you need to change, when you need to adjust, and that you have the power to do that, but you gotta show up. You gotta show up. So that's what was really interesting to me, is that it's just all playing fields. This is something that can resonate and help everybody. I don't know how more young people, how this is not being taught to them. Like, why do you have to wait until we're 40, 50, 60 to figure out that we're badasses and we can have amazing lives? If I had somebody told me this when I was like 20, I would have hit the ground running. But it's almost like the life and our culture and our society, you just have all these stories that you believe to be true. And unless you take the initiative on your own to really figure out, what am I doing with this life? Because every day it's a little bit shorter. Like, it just doesn't really resonate until later. I truly wish something like this is, well, it's not gonna be around when I was younger. I can't go that route, but just something that young people just start to gravitate towards. When you're 20, 25, you have so much more life ahead of you. Make every day great. I mean, why are we waiting till we're 60 and figuring out, hey, I should go to Shield Maiden and, roll around on the beach and get exfoliated? No, why aren't we doing this when we're younger and have a lot more endurance too? But it'd be really great if somehow this could be trickled down into the younger generation coming up, so they can just do this for the rest of their life. Have a great relationship with their kids, have the lifestyle they want, have a relationship with their family and their spirituality, and not miss out on these chunks where you're just kind of going on autopilot. So that would be really great.